In this video, we are going to configure view cart event so you can see how many people are visiting your cart page and which items have been added to the cart and being checked out. This is one of the steps that has been added into GA4 e-commerce reporting, so we are going to leverage this one. There are three requisites for this video. You need to have a Google Tag Manager container, a Google Analytics 4 property, a Shopify store, and you need to make sure that your Google Tag Manager container code snippets has been added to your Shopify store. The video has been divided into three different sections. In the first section, we are going to set up the base configuration tag for Google Analytics so we can track events such as page view, user engagement, and all the default events that comes with it. And in the second section of the video, we are going to write the script which is going to fire the view cart event on the Shopify store. And in the third section, we are going to do a test conversion to make sure everything is working all right. And in the final section, we will just publish the container and we will be good to go. So let's head over to my computer so we can start. Head over to your Google Analytics 4 properties so we can capture the measurement ID. Measurement ID is something that is unique for each data stream, and data streams are just like pipelines. They connect your Shopify store with your Google Analytics account. Under the property column, you will see an option for data streams, and if you already do not have a data stream, just click on add stream and create a web stream for yourself. Otherwise, just head over to the web section and click on the data stream that is already there. We are going to copy the measurement ID on the top right corner and head over back to the Google Tag Manager container. We are going to create a variable for this one, a user defined constant variable, so we don't have to recopy and paste the values again and again. So in the Google Tag Manager container, on the left side, you will see an option for variables, and on the second column, you will see an option for user defined variable. Click on the new and select the constant variable. This constant variable will hold the GA4 measurement ID. So let's rename it to GA4 measurement ID. Let's hit save. Perfect. We are going to create another variable for Google Tag settings variable. So let's click on new. You will find an option for Google Tag configuration settings. So select this one. And this will ask you to add any parameters that you want. If you want to send any event parameter with all the events, you can add here. I usually like to send an event underscore ID parameter so I can differentiate between different events that are coming in. For this one, you can use a random number, but what I like to use is a default event ID parameter that has been created by some other fellow members in the community gallery. This step is not necessary, however, it helps with the debugging in future. Let's select this event ID parameter and name it event ID. That's perfect. So now what it is going to create is a random string of numbers that will be unique for each data layer push. So let's name it configuration settings event ID, GA4 event ID. Let's hit save and go back to the Google Tag Manager containers tag section. In the tag section, we are going to create a tag which will fire the configuration event for GA4. Click new. And as we want this tag to fire on all the pages, we are going to select a trigger for all pages. And if you're using the new Google Tag Manager container, you will see an option for Google Tags. And if you're using an older version, you will see an option for GA4 configuration tag. So we are going to select the G tag, and for the measurement ID, we are going to use the constant variable we created a few minutes ago. Let's select that. You can also paste the settings that you wanted using the variable that we just created. Let's rename the tag to G tag, GA4 configuration tag. You might see that my spellings are really nice. Configuration tag. You don't have to make mistakes like I do in the spellings. You can type perfectly fine. In this second section of the video, we are going to place the code for view cart snippet. You can find the code links in the description. Let's head over back to the Shopify store, and on the online channel, you can find your online store. And on the online store, make sure you're on the theme section. By default, Shopify will redirect you to the theme section. Otherwise, just do it yourself. Click on the three dots and click on edit code so you can edit the theme files of the Shopify store. Now what we are going to do is locate the Google Tag Manager code snippet in the theme file and paste the view cart snippet right below this one. You can paste this code in the head section, or you can paste this code anywhere in the body section. I just like it as top as the Google Tag Manager head code. Hit format code. This step is not necessary, but I like formatting the code so it just prettifies everything. Let's hit save. Perfect. Now this should have added a code snippet that will trigger an event for custom view item. You might see that custom view cart is the event that we are trying to track, but in the GA4, the event standard name is view_cart. We are just using this prefix of custom underscore just to make sure that our event configuration does not match with anyone else's, because all the other apps are also going to be using the standard naming convention. Let's over back to the Google Tag Manager container and do a preview so we can see how the event actually looks like on the website. Let's connect the debug window with our store so we can trigger this event. We already seem to have an item in the cart, so instead of going through add to cart, let's just directly visit the cart. Let's open these side by side so we can view both of the pages in the same window. So this is the cart page on the website, and on the cart page we do have the Google Tag Manager web container window connected, and for some reason it is not showing up here. Let's just refresh the page to make sure everything is working fine. There might be some issue, the debug window was not showing up. A custom view cart event is firing. It also has the currency parameter, value, and all the other details. So in the third section, we are going to create tags and trigger that will capture this view cart event and send it to the GA4. Let's open this debug window here on the side so we can look at the event parameters that we need. The first thing we need to do is create a trigger that will fire on this custom view cart event. So let's head back to the trigger section and create a new trigger for custom view cart. Let's hit new. And for the trigger, we are going to select custom event, and let's rename it custom event view cart. See, the naming convention is pretty straightforward. And under the variable section, we are going to create a variable for Google tag setting that will capture the details such as items, currency, value, and all of those good things. So let's hit new, and we are going to look for the Google tag event settings variable. Previously we used the configurations variable, and now we are going to use the event setting variables. We need to send something such as items, value, currency. You might notice that if an event parameter has been registered in GA4, it will show a non-parameter tick mark. Otherwise, it will not show anything. For example, if you have custom something, it will not show anything like that. This is also how you know if the naming convention is correct or not. So now we need to select this value parameter, which is inside the e-commerce object. To access anything inside an object in Google Tag Manager, we use dot annotation. So this should be e-commerce.value. Select hit plus to create a new variable, and hit plus. Now we are going to go for a data layer variable. So this one is going to be e-commerce.value. Let's rename this variable to DLV. DLV stands for data layer variables. Now we have created the value parameter, and now we need to do the same for the items. You don't have to set item ID and all of these things separately. You can just send this items array back to the GA4 and it will know what to do. So let's create a new variable for e-commerce.item. Let's rename this one as data layer variable e-commerce.item and hit save. Perfect. Now the last one we need to create is currency. We can get the currency parameter from here, but using the standard notation, we are going to go for e-commerce.currency. Let's create the last parameter that we need, e-commerce.currency. You don't have to make the spelling mistakes like I do, but it's completely optional. Perfect. Let's rename this to Google Tag Event Settings EEC event parameter. You might notice that we are not adding GA4 to this one because this event parameter can be used for other things too. So let's hit tag and create the tag that will fire on this event. For the trigger, we are going to select the trigger we already created, and for the tags, we are going to create a GA4 event tag. The event ID is going to be the same constant parameter that we created, and under the name we are using the event standard name. We are not sending custom view cart, we are sending the standard event name of view cart. The event parameters, we can load them directly from the variable that we created. Otherwise, there is an option to manually add the event parameters here, but since we have created the settings variable, we don't have to do this anymore. One more option we do have under the more setting, you can select on send e-commerce data and it will automatically pick things up, but I find it a little tricky because sometimes we have a different name and it doesn't work accurately. So let's just rename this tag to GA4 custom event view cart. Let's just save, and in this last fourth section we are going to make a test to see if everything is working all right, and if everything is working all right, we will publish the Google Tag Manager container. Let's just head directly to the cart page to see if the script is firing and if we are receiving the event in the Google Analytics 4. So this is the home page that we landed on, and this is the cart page. So this is the cart data layer push, and we can see that the GA4 tag has fired. Let's go to the container window to see if the event has fired. So the event has successfully sent the e-commerce item, item ID, value parameter, and currency. You can verify this information from the Google Analytics account. Under the admin section, you can see an option for debug view, where you will see all the events that are coming in if your Google Tag Manager is connected through the debug view. And we can see that the view cart event item is coming in, and it also has the event detail. There is one more place where you can verify this information. Under the reports, you can navigate to the real-time report if you have a lower traffic or if no other users have made this conversion. You can go to real-time view, and under the event counts by event name, you can see the event that has fired recently. You might notice that anything that we have configured in the configuration tag using the event setting variable will be sent with all of the event. For example, in this case, event ID is being sent. And that's pretty much it for the video. In this section, you're not going to see any items array. You can only see items array in the debug window.